The morning bell echoed through the marble halls of Ridgewood High as the new girl, Emily Carter, quietly stepped inside, her hair tied neatly into a long golden braid that shimmered like sunlight under the ceiling lights. Her uniform was crisp, her shoes spotless, and yet her eyes held a calm that didn't belong to a teenager. It was the kind of calm born from discipline, from growing up in the shadow of someone powerful. She didn't talk much, she didn't need to. Behind that gentle smile was a presence that unsettled even the loudest students, though no one could quite explain why. The whispers started immediately. "Who's the new girl? She's weirdly quiet. Probably some army brat." They weren't wrong. Emily was the daughter of Captain Daniel Carter, one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the country. A man known for his courage, silence, and the unbreakable code he passed on to his daughter: never start a fight, but always finish it. Emily carried that rule like armor. But high school wasn't a battlefield she had trained for. It was worse. It was full of masks, of laughter that hid cruelty, of girls who smiled while sharpening knives made of words. Among them was Veronica Hale, the self-proclaimed queen of Ridgewood. Veronica didn't like competition. The moment she saw how teachers adored Emily's discipline and classmates admired her calm beauty, jealousy turned her honeyed smile into venom. It started small: whispers behind lockers, fake compliments, accidental spills in the cafeteria. But Emily never reacted. She just cleaned up quietly, her jaw tightening, her eyes lowering, as her father's voice echoed in her mind: control is power. Then came the day that would change everything. Friday afternoon, the school buzzed with excitement. The football pep rally, the laughter, the noise, and in the midst of it all, Veronica and her two friends, Madison and Chloe, cornered Emily near the restroom. "Hey, new girl," Veronica called, smiling sweetly. "You dropped something." Emily turned, confused. "No, I didn't." "Oh," Veronica chuckled, stepping closer. "Maybe you dropped your attitude." The girls laughed. Emily sighed softly and tried to walk away, but Madison blocked her path. "You think you're better than us, huh? You act like you don't care. You think you're some kind of princess." Emily didn't reply. That silence, that calm, only enraged them more. "Fine," Veronica hissed. "Let's see how perfect you are without your golden hair." Before Emily could react, Veronica pulled out a pair of scissors from her bag, the kind used for art class, and in a sudden, vicious motion, grabbed Emily's braid. The cold metallic snip echoed in the tiled bathroom as strands of golden hair fell onto the wet floor. The laughter that followed was sharp, cruel, and echoing. Emily froze. Her reflection stared back from the mirror. Broken hair, trembling hands, eyes that once held calm now burned with something darker. But she didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just whispered something under her breath, too soft for them to hear, and walked out silent as ever. The bullies laughed louder, proud of their act, recording everything for social media, thinking they had won. That evening, Emily sat alone in her room, scissors marks still fresh, her cut hair placed carefully on the desk. The walls were covered with photos. Her father in uniform, medals gleaming, notes about discipline, endurance, and strength. She stared at one frame, her father shaking hands with generals, and felt her chest tighten. He was away on a mission, but his words were always with her. "Pain isn't your enemy. Weakness is." Slowly, Emily stood up and tied her short hair back, her reflection no longer looking broken. It looked focused. That weekend, she trained harder than ever. Push-ups until her arms shook. Sprints until her lungs burned. Her father's private gym, a hidden room filled with equipment, became her battleground. Every breath, every punch, every drop of sweat was a promise. They will never break me again. Monday came. Ridgewood High buzzed again. But this time, everyone noticed something different. Emily walked in, her short hair framing her sharp eyes, wearing the same calm smile, but her aura was different, unshakable. Veronica smirked. "Oh look, G.I. Jane showed up." Laughter followed, but it faltered when Emily didn't even blink. During gym class, the instructor announced a surprise self-defense demonstration, a visiting officer to train the students on basic defense moves. The gym doors opened, and in walked Captain Daniel Carter. The same captain whose photos lined Emily's walls, the same man whose presence silenced even the loudest rooms. Gasps filled the gym. "Students," he said, his voice commanding but calm. "Today I'll be demonstrating with a volunteer, my daughter Emily." Veronica's jaw dropped. The bullies froze as Emily stepped forward. The entire class watched as father and daughter sparred with precision and grace, Emily moving like lightning, dodging and flipping with military discipline. When her father finally smiled and said, "You've made me proud, soldier," the room erupted in applause, but Emily's eyes were locked on the three girls at the back, the same ones who had cut her hair. For the first time, they looked afraid. After class, Veronica tried to laugh it off, but something in her chest twisted. Guilt, fear, both maybe. Emily walked up to her slowly. "You wanted to see who I really am?" she said softly. "Now you know." She didn't threaten, didn't insult. She simply turned and walked away, leaving silence in her wake. Later that day, the principal's office called Veronica and her friends in. The video of them cutting Emily's hair had gone viral overnight, not as a joke, but as a story of bullying and strength. Parents were outraged, the school was embarrassed, and justice was swift. The girls were suspended indefinitely. But for Emily, revenge was never about punishment. It was about proving something her father always said: the strongest revenge is rising higher than those who tried to break you. As she walked home under the setting sun, hair short, heart steady, she felt something powerful: peace. Because she hadn't just survived, she had transformed. And as she looked into the camera her father had set up for her weekly vlog, she smiled faintly and said, "If you're watching this, remember, never let cruelty change who you are. Control your storm, and let your silence speak louder than revenge." She looked straight into the lens and added with a soft grin, "And if you believe strength comes from within, don't forget to subscribe, because the next chapter is just beginning."